everybody, and welcome back to the Wheelburner Express. Hopefully everybody got home for the holidays and they are enjoying their Christmas and their family and their time at home. It's right now, it's in between Christmas and New Year's when I'm making this, so I'm not going to tell you Happy New Year, but Happy New Year when it gets here. I think today's the 30th, so you got a couple of days, and then it's party day, and then it's everybody back to work. As you can see, I am at home, and somehow or another, I don't know how, but with all the activity and all the people that are living my home with kids and wife, and I get the house to myself. I don't know how it happened. It rarely happens, but believe it or not, I got the whole place to myself. And I just thought I'd do a quick something today, and I was trying to figure out what to do. And I was looking back at older videos, and I was looking at a couple other channels that I follow. And there's a really good channel. It's owned and run by a really young couple named Kyle and Danielle, and their channel is Nevada Trucking and Trails. They're out of Las Vegas, Nevada, and if you ever get a chance, I suggest you go over there and check them out. Totally relevant to everything and just about every aspect of what's going on in trucking today, from money to trucks to customers to deliveries to brokers. They cover pretty much everything. Really well run little channel, and I say little channel, I mean like it's not a 200,000 subscribed channel, but I think they got about 6,500 subscribers. And anyway, go look at them, because it's because of something that Kyle did. I think about a month or so back, he did a video, and it broke down his pay. He was showing, he was open about it. He showed, this is how much we make. This is where we went from here to here. This is what it paid. This is the tax. This is the deductions. This is what we made. And they are a team truck. They're a husband and wife, and they both run team, and they are a true team truck. They run, while he's driving, she's sleeping. While she's driving, he's sleeping. So good on them. But it broke it all down, and it kind of gave me an idea to do something like that, because we're in Canada, and as a Canadian driver and a Canadian owner-operator, we do things significantly different here than they do down there. Our pay is, for the most part, is run differently. Most guys up here, unless you're running your own authority, if you're on with a major carrier, you're a mileage-based driver or a percentage-based driver. I myself personally, I'm a mileage-based driver. I run by the mile. I like that as per percentage-based drivers. I like the mileage because you know what? I can tell you pretty much right down to the penny at the end of the week how much money I've made. I can tell you what it's cost me and how much I'm going to take home. Now, saying that, let's kind of get right into this. What we're going to do is actually, I'm going to give you two examples, and this is actually kind of cool. The second part of this was my wife. She was going through a couple of boxes. We just had some renos done, and we had to move a bunch of stuff. So she found one of the boxes, and it had some old pay statements and some old pay statements and receipts and whatnot from back in 2015. When I was operating back in 2015, now I was in a different carrier then. I was working for somebody else, but it's still, and it breaks it all down. So what we're going to do here is I'm actually going to show you what I made as an owner operator back in 2015 and what I'm making currently today as of the pay statement I've got in front of me. This will be from the 15th of December. So that's my current statement. I don't get another one until January 1st. Sorry, I got to keep these glasses on here because I am going to be looking down at stuff to read, and I am blind as a bat. I can't read jack without them. So let's get right into this. Oh, we're also going to do this. Back in 2015, I also bought a brand new truck. I bought that Volvo. It was a 14 model, but it was 15, blah, blah, blah. So, and I've got the numbers of what I paid for a new truck back then as compared to what I'm paying, what I'm going to pay for a brand new truck today. So we're going to show you the difference between, okay, this is what I was making back then, and this is what it cost to do business with fuel and operating expenses, and what the price of buying a new truck as to today of this is how much I'm making, and this is how much it's costing me to operate, and this is what it costs to buy a new truck today. So let's get into this, get the old iGoogles on here. The first one we're going to put up on the screen for you here is the statement from 2015. Sorry, is there a glare? I can't tell, but if there's a glare, sorry, bear with it. The first one we're gonna put up on the screen for you here is from 2015. I was working for a small carrier. It was a 40 fleet carrier. One operator, actually it was a husband and wife, and within the company was KBD Transportation. It was owned, it still is owned and operated by Pam and Bruce Mullen. Great little company, fantastic operation they got over there. So as you can see, part of this is blacked out, and that came out just the way it was printed. But I wrote in the number that's supposed to be in that box beside it. So let's get in on this. And again, this would have been December 4th, pay calculation period ending December 4th, 2015. My name at the top, my truck number 118. Pay calculation week ending December 4th. As you can see, my loaded miles. Now on this company here, I got paid two different rates. I got paid for loaded miles. I got paid a different rate for empty miles. My loaded miles, I was paid, as you can see, I was paid $1.37. I ran 2,103 or 2,103 loaded miles at $1.37, paying me $2,881.11. I ran 404 empty miles at $1.05. Oh, that hurt, but that's what it was back in 2015. That paid me $424.20. Now, with this company, unlike the company I'm at now and with other companies, we got paid extras, and I really push for this for companies when you're working. I love the way Bruce does this. For live unloads, loads and unloads, we got $30. Now, I was doing flat deck back then, as I am now. So to load and unload the trailer, I made $30. I had 9 of those in the span of a week. I loaded and unloaded 9 times. So that paid me 9 times $30 is $270. Pins and drops, that means every time I come off a trailer and go on to another trailer, I got paid $8. $8 for a pin and a drop. So I had, looks like I had 1 of those. Tarping, I got paid for tarping, as I do here with the company I'm at right now. If I tarp, I pull a roll tight, but we do have a couple of flatbeds, and in the event I ever have to pull one, if I have to tarp, I will get 50, I think it's $100 to tarp it. But back then, I got $50 to tarp it and $50 to untarp it. So basically to tarp it and untarp it, it's $50 at either end. I had 5 of those that paid me $250. I had 0 hours for wait time, and I had 0 hours, 0 money for layovers. My total miles were 2,507. And that's my loaded and my empty miles, 2,507. And that was, I'm not gonna say an average week, that might've been a little low. I think the average we were running back then, we were anywhere from 26 to 2,800 miles. But let's say for the month of December, 2,500 miles for the month of December, especially being on flatbed, we slow down, flatbeds all slow down. So 2,500 miles ain't bad. It really isn't bad. Now let's get into that. My gross pay on that was $3,833.31. Now, KBD runs their fuel surcharge as they take their fuel surcharge from what the national standard is that's put up every week. I think it's put up every 2 weeks. And at that time, the fuel surcharge was 26.6%. It's blacked out on there. Unfortunately, I didn't write it in, but I can read it. It's 26.6%. So what they do is they take my 2,507 miles, they multiply that by 26.5%. That pays me my fuel rebate coming back to me at $666.86. So that's added on. So my gross total for total miles was $3,800. I had another $666 come back for my fuel rebate. And then my deductions, I paid $100 a week for insurance. I paid my fuel. My fuel for that week was $12.93. Now that's my pump, what I pay at the pump, right? Like, we got a small discount. So when I say the pump price, I just mean, that's what came out of the pump is $1,293, my cost. I pay the HST on my fuel, it was $168.14. My def for that week was $23.94. My HST on my def was $3.11. And my benefits, I had a benefit package with them. It was $34.95 per week. So my my gross was 3,800 plus the 660 after all my deductions in the bank. Now this is December 2015. Oh no, and this is a week. This isn't a bi-weekly, this is a week. In the bank, they deposit 28.76. Now this is, again, this is Canadian funds. I did not convert that to American. I don't know. If I had to guess, I'd think the American, if I convert that on today's exchange, it's probably about 2,300 bucks. So on the US, it would be 2,300 bucks is what I put in what they put in the bank. So, but in Canada, it was a 28.76.65 in the bank on the week. Not bad. That's not a bad week. You know, you can live on that as an owner operator. You can pay your bills, you can pay your truck. Because like I said, that's weekly. That's not, you know, you're multiplying that times 4 in a month. So you know, whatever that's just a quarter of what you're going to make that month. And like I said, this is December, so we're a little slow. So this is actually a little bit lower. I think the average paychecks that we were, the statements that we were getting, our average statements were usually somewhere around 3,000 bucks, 3,000, 3,100 bucks for the busier times of the month, and we were good with that. Fuel back then, the next one we're going to put up here will be the fuel statement showing what I paid. November 27th, 2015, I filled. November 30th, I filled. December 2nd, I filled. The first one I paid 92.89 cents per liter. I paid 90 on the 30th, I paid 94 cents a liter. And on the 2nd, I paid 91 cents a liter. I don't have what that is in gallons, and shame on me. You know what? I was unprepared. I should have figured that out and figured out what it is cost per gallon. I will get that for you though, because obviously it makes more sense. You need to know that. Now you know what I made, you know what I paid in fuel. You have some basic idea of some expenses. I had no repairs that week. I had no breakdowns. I had no other expenses. Nothing else came off that statement. What you saw up there and what that statement was, that was a true statement. If there would have been anything else or expenses or repairs or anything, it would have been broken down on there and it would have shown. But for that week there was nothing there. So I also back earlier in that year, that would have been in May, I bought the new truck. I bought the Volvo. I bought a V&L 730. It was heavy spec, beautiful truck, loved it. The purchase price on that truck. Now, when I bought that truck, it was already eight and a half months old. The original owner bought it, drove it for 6 out of the 8 months. He had a catastrophe happen at home. He was a Polish fella, and he ended up having to go home. And he basically turned the truck back into the dealership, said bye, and walked away. And they were sitting there with the truck. The dealership, being Sheehan's, the sales guy over there, and Mike Murphy, who I've bought a couple of trucks from before, knew I was looking for a truck, gave me a call and said, hey, I've got this, why don't you come down and take a look? Maybe we can make a deal. And we did. The purchase price on that truck was $119,000 Canadian, plus HST. So I'll give it all to you, then the tax later. It was $119,000 even. They did not inflate that because the previous guy had put some money down on it. So they'd already got some money from him and they weren't going to try to gouge me for any more. Again, because I've done business with them. I paid $9,000 for the extended warranty. He didn't have the extended warranty on it, so I paid the $9,000 for the extended warranty. So $119,000 plus the $9,000, it's $128,000 plus tax. You got your HST. Comes out to $144,640. And then there was like $300. You know how they nickel and dime you. Administration fee, this fee, that fee. I'm surprised they don't charge you to put air in the fucking tires, but. So all in, I was $144,940 for a new truck, or an 8-month-old truck. But let's just say it was a new truck. 2015, new truck, this is what I made. These were my expenses. This was the price of fuel. Now let's turn this around. This is today's. we're putting up here now. Next, we're going to put up my my pay statement that I just received on, what did this? This would have been from November 1st to the 15th. So this is it here. Now, where I'm working now, we're paid bi-weekly. So basically it's, you know, cut this in half, right? So we're gonna put it up here and I'm just gonna show you, and then we're just gonna cut it in half because this is a 2 week and we're just gonna average it out for a week. We'll take the half of what this is and put it out for a week, okay? So, we lost it. I lost my train of thought for a second there. But anyway, let's just take a look at this, okay? At the end of the statement is up there, okay? So for tolls, I had $15.75 come back to me. These are reimbursements, right? Okay, let's go start at the top. The truck grossed in 2 weeks. The truck grossed $10,254. This is not a stellar pay period, by the way, just so you know. At the second line I was paid $500 as a consulting fee. I do some work for these guys on the side, doing it with another project. Right now, because of the price of fuel, there is being so ridiculous, they've actually got a fuel surcharge on top of their mileage rate. So the fuel surcharge coming back to me was an additional $285.65. Now that doesn't sound like a lot, but you know what it is. And again, like basically, if you break this all in half, right? So 254. You break that in half, you're at $5,125. My consulting fee, let's just say, you know, it was broken down weekly. It's $500. There's $250. My fuel surcharge, $285. So that'd be $42.50. The scale, well, that's a scale ticket. This company pays a scale ticket, so that was $15. We'll just say, okay, we're not going to cut that in half. These are then come my deductions, okay? My deductions, my holdback is already paid. My disability insurance of $110, so let's just say that would be $55. Buy down insurance, that's in Canada, we do things differently with our insurance as compared to the Americans, you guys in the States. We have to actually pay to have our insurance paid down. So my buy down insurance was $127. So if you cut that in half, you know what, you're like what, you're 65, let's say $65, 64, 63.75, whatever. My fuel, my US fuel, as you can see by the statement, there's no Canadian fuel purchased on there, and that is important. I don't know how many times I got to tell you guys, stop buying Canadian fuel. Do not buy it. This statement here. Now again, this is a Canadian price, right? Canadian price, and this is over 2 weeks. So $3,500, $35.25.18 over 2 weeks, and that's been from US. That's been converted into Canadian, and that's my price, the $3,500. So if I was to divide that in half, 15, say what, $1,700 that week. Let's say $1,700 Canadian that week in fuel. I had no Q3 bonus. It wasn't due anyway. There was no parking. There was no other. Now I did have a couple of minor repairs. One of which I was reimbursed for because it wasn't my truck. The office had made a mistake. They caught it, and I was reimbursed. So that $335.33. For that repair was reimbursed. So I actually got that back. They sent me that almost right away. The owner of the company is very good about that. They do not wait around. They do not do the, oh, don't worry, we'll put it on your next check. No, forget it. You get it. Same, as soon as the mistake is caught, it's in your account. They take care of that for you. I did have a steer tire blow on the side of the highway. So I did have to have, unfortunately, I had to have a mobile come out and fix that. So the cost of that was $863. Price you pay for doing business. I'm actually trying like hell to get that back because the tire was only 3 months old. So we're looking into that. I'm working with Mark, and we're working with the tire company to see if we can get to at least some of that back. So yeah, I had what, 863 bucks, blah, blah, blah. So my grand total was 5944, but if you add the 335 back onto that, I'm at about 6,300 bucks. Divide that in half. What am I at? 63 and a half, or 63 divided by 2. I'm at, why is my brain not working? 6,300 bucks. So 3150. I guess 3150. So I did, in the bank for that week would have been 3,150 bucks. My fuel. Again, I didn't buy any US fuel or any Canadian fuel. And my average price on my fuel was about $3.35 a gallon US. So after they convert it and whatnot like that, but I was able to get my average was about $3.35. The lowest I got it for was $3.12. The highest I paid for it was $3.63. And that's going from Michigan, Wisconsin, Michigan. Oh, this round here, I basically did 2 round trips from Northern Ontario out to Wisconsin, back and forth. Now, one of those routes I went up through and around the expensive way, and the other way I went the cheaper way, a few more miles, but the cheaper way. I did a video back a month or so ago about that, about a couple other guys that did it. Funny enough, I ended up having to do it myself twice, but once I went their way, and once I went my way to test my own theory. So that's why we did that. Now, the price, today I made, what I say, 3,300 bucks. Okay, now the same time frame back in 2015, I made 2,800 bucks. So that's a $400 difference. 28.76. So yeah, let's say $400, 400 and change difference of what I made from 2015 to what I'm making now, right? Price of fuel was 92 cents a liter. I think 92 cents a liter equates to somewhere around 250 something a gallon. I'll do the math on it and I'll get you. I don't like to give you shit numbers, but I will. I should have done this before I started shooting, but I will get you the numbers. But the U.S. price is, I think it's like 255 or let's just say 255 a gallon. The average price I paid today was $3.35 a gallon, something like that. Look at the price difference in fuel, and the fuel now is still going up. Now, the price on trucks. Now, I bought a new truck. I didn't buy a brand new truck today, this year. I bought a 2020. Now, we're going to put up on the screen here. I'm not going to tell you how much I paid for my truck, but we are going to put up on the screen here 4 or 5 examples of what that truck, with the specs that I've got, they're all identical, all the same specs. They all got APUs. They all got everything my truck has. These trucks are. I actually went out and found them. So these trucks and these prices that you're seeing here are what my truck would be worth today. Now, that's a 2020. I know for a fact through another source that if you buy a 2022, like if you were to walk into Freightliner and order yourself now a 2022, and pretty soon, shortly, you'll be able to order 2023s, you are over 200,000. You are. I think the base models or the baseline starting right now. Canadian price. Remember, Canadian price is 205,000 to 210,000. Did you ever in your life think that you'd hear a Freightliner Cascadia is going to cost you $210,000? I never thought that I'd ever hear that. You know, never. Right now, 205 to 210,000 bucks, and then depending what you put into it and your accessories and your extended warranty and all the stuff that you want to do, anything added you want to put on an APU, you know, you could bump that, you could comfortably bump that into the 220 mark, 225 mark, and that sucks. That sucks. So I made $400. I'm making, let's just say I'm taking home in my bank $400, $450, whatever, a week more now. But here's the kicker. The price for me to do business today is almost 2/3 what it was for me to do business back then. With the price of fuel, the price of trucks, and God forbid you bust your truck and you got to go to the dealership and you're going to need parts, labor, anything. Okay. I mean, like, I'm just going to give you like this pen back in 2015, if it said Freightliner on it, this pen cost $1.95. Okay. There it is. Same pen, right? It's now 2021. We're a week away from 2022. Says Freightliner on it. This pen is now $13.95. Now that's exaggerated, but you get the idea. Parts, any parts. And now with a shortage of parts, it's not like the dealers are doing us a favor. Oh, okay, there's a shortage of parts. They know how bad you need it. They're putting a few more ticks on that. That part, say 8 months ago, that was $500 is now $550. Back in 2015, that $500 part was, say, $300 or $250. See what I'm saying? The price of inflation is going up. The price to do business is going up, but our wages are not going up. They are, right? My wages went up $400 in 6 years, 6.5 years. Big shit. The price of me to do business is almost doubled in 6 years. How are we doing this? How the hell are we doing this? So if you're a new owner operator, or you're an owner operator, period, you know the pain and you know what I'm talking about here. You know what this is costing you. So this is just a breakdown. I just thought I'd throw this at you and show you, this is what I was making back in 2015, and this is how much it was costing me. This is what I'm making today, and this is what it's costing me. I'd be curious. I probably won't be here in another 5 or 6 years doing what I'm doing. But if I am, I will definitely show you, this one here as of my pay period, ending December 15th, 2021. Let's just say I'll give you, December 15th ending, 2026, and I'll show you the difference between the two of them and what we're making then and blah, 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 blah. But as far as it sits right now, this is the difference. Our pay, like I said, the cost of all the trucks, the business, the fuel, everything has gone up, and it's going up like at this speed. Our wages and our increases are going up this speed. And that's the best way that I can give it to you. There's the Roadrunner and here's the Coyote. You can't keep up. And at some point in business, you're going to get to the point where there's too much of a gap between here and there. What you're making and what it's costing you. And that's why a lot of guys are bailing out, or they're failing, or they're going bankrupt, or they're just handing it in and walking away. Anyway, that's all I got to say about that. If you've got some comments, throw them in. I'd like to hear what your comments are. If you've got any questions, anything you want to know, again, throw them in your comments. Down in the link, we're also going to put the Wheelburner Express email address. I had a couple of guys, I did a video a few weeks back on these guys that made these trips and their cost of doing these trips and their fuel expenses and cents per mile. And a lot of guys, believe it or not, I'm finding in talking to these, especially the young guys, they don't know how to do these calculations. They don't know how to run the formulas. They don't know how do you do this? How do you divide this by the blah, blah, blah. You know what? If you don't know how to do this stuff, drop me a line. Okay, I've got it broken down here, and I will be happy to I'll freely give it to you. Okay, I will freely give it to you. I'll break it down for you. I won't give you obviously your numbers because I don't know them, but I will give you the formulas to figure all of this out. So you know how much it's costing you to do business, how much you're making every time your wheel turns, how much it's costing you every time your wheel turns, with your insurance, with your, I'll break it all down for you, and I'll just give it to you for nothing. But drop an email. We're going to put, like I said, we'll put the email down in the link. Email me. If there's anything I can do to help you out, I'll be happy to. I'll give it to you freely. I get most of my ideas from talking to most of you guys or walking around on the road or at the truck stops. So You guys freely give me my ideas. Anything I can give you back, I'll be happy to give it back to you. So make sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button, give me a like, and we will see you down the road. I don't know why I keep looking up there. It sounds like there's a squirrel. Anyway, we'll see you down the road. You guys have a good holidays. Be safe.